Hello everyone, and welcome to my tutorial on how to do the edge orientation and the line in the ZZ method. I'm going to make two videos on the ZZ method, this one and then one for the rest of the steps. The second step, or the steps following this step I should say, are pretty intuitive if you already know how to solve the cube, say with the Friedrich method, CFOP, whatever you want to call it. You just have to do it using 3gen, only R, U, and L, because you don't want to mess up the line, which would be here. And I'll also be showing you a couple of the ways you can finish off the cube using the ZZ method. It's open to a lot of possibilities, just like most other methods that speedcubers use, like CFOP or RU. So for the sake of this tutorial, it will be best if you use white on top and red on front, since this will make identifying the bad edges easier, because that's what I will be using. So bad edges, there's a couple cases. There's 0 bad edges, which rarely occurs. And then there's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, and 12. 6 is the most common, but it doesn't really matter because what I'll be teaching you will be intuitive and you can figure it out for yourself. It doesn't really matter how many you get. So during your inspection, you want to identify the bad edges and come up with a plan on how you want to turn those bad edges into good edges. So in order to identify a bad edge, what you want to do is look in the following spots: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Do not pay attention to this spot, this spot, this spot, or this spot, because when you look at here, you will already be determining if this edge is good or bad. You do not want to look at it in respects to the F space, or the F face, or the B face. So, first thing you want to do is look for the bad edges. If you see a U or D color in any of the spots I just showed you, then the edge is good. So in this case, my U and D colors are white and yellow. I see these two D colors, both of those are good. If I see this U color, that edge is good. And I see these two colors here, both of those edges are good as well. So we've identified those. Now you want to look for any F and B colors. So I see 1, 2, 3, 4. I see 4 F and B colors. So F and B colors is the trickiest in determining if they're good or bad. What you want to do is you want to look and see what the other color in that edge is. So in this case I see a B color, orange. I want to look at the other color, green. This edge is good because green is an L, is my L color. Same in respects to this edge. This orange, my B color, has a blue. This is an R color. This edge is good. However, this edge here is a red, my F color. I look at the other color, that's white. That's a U color. That edge is bad right here. So if you see a U or D color attached to a F or B color, so F color, U color, this edge is bad. Also, you want to look at your other spots for L and R colors. So we've identified this edge is bad, this edge is good, and this edge is good, as well as the U and D colors, and this one. This one's good. It's an F color, and it has a LR color as the other one, and that's it. So now we want to look for L and R colors. Here we have an L. L is our green, R is our blue. We see here, this is now color. This edge is bad. This edge is an R color, blue. This edge is bad. This edge is an L color, green. This edge is bad. So we look around, we see no more. We've identified all the edges. So we have 1 bad edge, 2, 3, 4. That's 4 bad edges. So in order to fix the bad edges, we would use an F prime, B, or B prime move, whichever is easiest to move all the edges to. R and R prime, L and L prime, U prime, D and D prime do not affect the status of an edge. So if you see here, I do a U. These edges are still good, 3, and this edge is still bad. So if you look here, I do an F move. These edges that were good or bad, pardon me. This one was bad, this one was bad, and this one was bad. If we do an F, those edges become good because those are both U colors. That's a D color. However, this edge that was good is now bad because that's an L color. So cancel that, F prime, and we need to move all bad edges into one face, an F face or a B face, in order to change all the bad edges into good without changing any good edges into bad ones. So we want to look for our last bad edge. You have one here, one here, one here, and this one. So in this case, it would be easiest to just move this edge to this slot and do an F, since there are already 3 bad edges in the F layer. So it might be easiest to do this if I were to do something like D prime. I'm moving this edge into position, R, that puts the edge into the F layer, and then D puts this last edge back in. Now in order to fix the edges, I do a simple F, and I've now fixed all of the bad edges. These edges are now UD, this is D, and this is an F color without a UD color on the other side. So we have fixed all of the bad edges. The next part is to create what's called the EOLine, which is a line. It's just a line, it's like half across. So in this case, you do, since we're doing white on top and red on front, we need to solve these 2 edges here. That's what you always do, but in this case, since it's white on top, red on front, it's the yellow-red piece and the yellow-orange piece. So in order to put this edge into the right spot, I might do U prime F2. And F2 will not change the status of an edge because you're simply doing, you're turning the edges into bad edges, and then you're doing another F which turns them back into good edges. So F2 and B2 is allowed. However, you never want to do F prime or B prime, or F and B, because those will change the status of an edge, unless of course you're changing good edges or bad edges into good ones. So now I've created my EOLine. It's a line, and they also match up with the corresponding center pieces. Okay, so here's another scramble, and this one I'm going to put down in the description so you can follow along with this one. We're going to do just fixing the bad edges and working on the EOLine. So let's start off by identifying our bad edges. So I look in the top and I see 2 LRs, and then there's 3 more, so that's 5. So then I look for any FBs. So I see this one and this one, this one, and these 2. So let's see. So this one is bad because this is a the U color. This one's good because this color back here is a R color. This one's good because it's already in place, and this is a L color. Let's see, and then we have 2 on the back, and this one's bad because that's a U color. This one's bad because that's a D color. So it looks like we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so this is your first one, probably with more than 4 bad edges. So what we want to do is we want to look for the easiest way to put all of them into an F or B layer. So I look here and I see I have 1, 2, in the F layer. So I just want to move two bad edges, in one here and one here. So I look and I see here's one, so I can do an L, because L is not going to affect any of the status of the edges. And then I can do an R prime, and that's going to put those two edges in there. I have four bad edges, one F, and now I have good edges. Now let's look for our other ones. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4. So it looks like it's going to be easiest if I put them in B, because I already have 1, 2 in the B layer. So I look, these are my other two, this one and this one. So I might do R, that puts the bad edge there, and then a U, that's going to put the bad edge here. So now I have 1, 2, 3, 4. So B, and I fixed all of my edges with that. So then I want to do the EOLine, which basically you just want to put them in. So there I have the line, and then I'll fix it. And with that, you have fixed all of the edges. Keep looking for part 2, which I'll be going over how to solve the first two layers, as well as ways to finish the last layer with ZZ. You can do a lot of stuff. You can do OLL, PLL. You can do corners and then just ELL. Or what else can you do? ZZ. There's a ZZLL, ZB. You can do quite a bit of stuff. You can do winter variation, or no, pardon me, EJF2L, where you fix the corners when you insert the last slot. There's a lot of stuff you can do with it, a lot of possibilities. I'll be going over all of them. So thank you for watching.